So the Lord Yama uses the word balaha in the sense of ordinary, usual people. What they do in this life, they will be behind good food, they will be behind money, they will be behind some good shelter, good clothes, having a good relationship with people, enjoying these material pleasures, etc., etc. These things are adruvam, impermanent in this world, adruvam. But the matured people who have the discrimination about what is real and what is the goal and what is the path to achieve this goal, Purushartha. In Sanskrit, the goal is called Purushartha. Purushena arthyate iti Purushartha. Padaniyam padam. To be earned by the matured person. That's called Purushartha. So, moksha being the ultimate Purushartha for each and every human being, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye. Very few people put effort to reach this ultimate goal. So they are called discriminative one. Those people will not hold on the impermanent things. Focus will be in the eternal fact. Dhruvam adhruveshu. In the midst of all these material pleasures and material well-being, their focus will be on the real fact, which is the Purushartha, the Atman, the Brahman, the consciousness, which is the center of the whole universe. And luckily, it might be me, the listener. Aham Brahmasmi. In another Upanishad, it says. So, this Purushartha being the goal, the paths are being explained, the means. Ends and means are very important in any topic. Once you explain the goal, there should be a clean-cut explanation regarding the means to achieve the goal. Without that, it's incomplete. So here, means the different ways to achieve the goals also been elaborated by the law of death. So here he says that Dhiraha, the discriminative people, Amrtatvam Viditva, in search of, in order to know, knowing the immortal thing, they don't hold on the material things which are impermanent because they are behind the real thing, dhruvam, permanent thing in the world. And he is going to say in the third, which is also been already we have seen, I just want to give the continuity for the people who have been absent for a long time. Then here in the third, already we have seen that. Ena rupam rasam gantham shabdan sparshamscha maidunan etenaiva vichanadi kimatra parishishyate etat vaitat. Very beautiful. Lord Yama continues. By whom? By whose presence? All the forms, all the colors, all the taste, all the smell, all the fragrance, all the sound, We can understand through the body. We can sense through our body. The body borrow the satta, sentience, and the Atman lends the satta, the sentience for the body. Body is inert. We know that. The inert body doesn't have the capacity to smell, to think, to taste, to listen, to speak. But borrowed, the satta is being borrowed from the locus, what we called Atman. It lends the satta for everything. Self-evident and self-existent Atman. Independent. The inert body seems to be active and sentient. That's why the word ena, by whom all these activities in the body are possible, by whom even Maithuna, all the pleasures, we have to see the implied meaning, all the pleasures. Etenaiva vijanati, kimatra parishishyade. What is being there without not knowing by this all-pervading Atman? He is, this Atman is Sarvajnaha, all-knowing, almighty, all-potential. The consciousness, which is the locus of the body, is the almighty Atman. Once we are committed for this consciousness, our notion towards the body will slowly decreasing. We are not aware of the fake identity anymore. Slowly it will go. We will be in the real thing. I am Satchitananta Swarupaha. I am the locus of the entire creation. I am the locus of the entire living being and the all spatial things which I see. I am the locus of the entire celestial beings. I am the locus of the all immovable things. That's what we call almighty, all-pervading. Please chew all these words in order to know your glory, and don't put yourself down due to the limitations of the body, because body is not at all the listener. The listener is something other than the body. Body is just a superimposed fake identity, apparent reality. It serves some purpose like this, listening, thinking, all the things. That's all. Making us to know what is the real fact. The body will play the role and it will move away. That's all. So here it's been clearly told by whose presence. One knows color, one knows taste, one knows fragrance, one knows all kinds of sounds around. One who can have the sensitivity of touching. All these pleasures which we see in this external world, including sex, by whose presence one can see all these type of things through body. That Atman is the all-pervading Atman, and it knows everything nothing exists under other than Atman. Everything is known by this Atman. And the very word etat vaitat, that small phrase, it's very important, Etat vaitat. In Bhashya, Lord Yama says clearly, he says to Nachiketas, very beautifully he says, Kim tad yat Nachiketasa prishtam. That which is asked by Nachiketas, Devadipihi api. I already explained this sentence, but I really enjoy that. That which is asked by Nachiketas through these words in the first chapter, second section, 15th shloka, I think. Anyatra dharmad, anyatra adharmad, anyatra kritat agradacha, anyatra bhudacha bhavyacha yattat pashyati tadvata. That question raised by Nachiketas, that is being told by Nachiketasa Prishtam, that question is being answered by Devadipihi Abhi, even by the celestial beings, Vichikitsam, they doubt, is there something other than this body, mind, sense, and complex? Is there any real thing which never perishes in this world? Even they have doubt. Dharmadibhyo anyat Vishnoho paramam patam. The ultimate goal, Vishnoho paramam patam, yasmat param nasti. Other than that or beyond that, nothing exists. Tadva etat adigamyam etat adigatam ityarthaha. This is to be understood clearly. This is the thing which you asked. Whatever answer I give you from different angle, this one thing is the thing which you have asked to me. That consciousness which is known as Atman, which is known as Brahman, which is known as Satchidananda Surupam. Different names are there. It can also call as Lord, Ishvaraha. That word is going to be introduced. We will see. So, etat vaitat. This is the thing which you have asked clearly by your question. This consciousness is the goal, and this consciousness is the thing which is the locus. On that thing, we are all, each and every name and form is being superimposed. And they confirm, they conclude themselves that I am a living being which is limited by a body. That is being taken care of by the knowledge. Wherever there is a mistake, wherever there is a knowledge, wherever there is a mistaken knowledge, the real knowledge is the solution. No other way. The whole samsara, the whole suffering, the whole issues around me is due to the ignorance, is due to the misconceptions, is due to the fake identity about myself, that I am a girl, I have this type of organs, I have this type of limbs, my hair is like this, I am an old boy, I am an old woman, I am like this, I am an Indian, I am in lots of limitations. All these are apparent reality fake identity, mithya kalpidam, a snake which is superimposed on the real rock, which is not known to me. Just I superimpose a snake which is created by the mind. This is being taken care of by the real knowledge. Similarly, here, Lord Death present to Nachiketas that you are consciousness which is eternal, which is immortal, which is the source of all happiness, which is the source of each and every living being. That consciousness is being missed by each and every living being. Thus, suffering continues in this world. So here, etat vaitat, this is the thing you asked to me. Then again, he answers, Adisukshmatvad durvijneyam iti matva etam eva artam punaha punaha aha. Again and again it is told, punaha punaha aha. What is that? Adisukshmatvad. Something which is difficult to see or difficult to know, we need to say about a thing again and again. Repeatedly, we need to say about the fact. Otherwise, Swami Dayananda have a classical sentence. Habitual errors need repeated corrections. We are all considering that our body is the main thing to live in this world. I go along with the emotions created by my body. I go along with the likes and dislikes created by body. This is called repeat habitual errors. Nobody corrected right from the childhood. They also confirmed that you are a body. Even the government confirmed that I am this body. They put a picture in my identification of the card. National card, what they call Aadhaar or election card, whatever it may be, in that or in the passport, this body is being sticked there. So, all around the society, the family members, my brothers, my sisters, my parents, everybody promoted my mistake. They never corrected me. You are not this body. To correct that, you need some skill, you need some information, you should be there. Mostly the people follow what they are informed by their grandparents, Nobody have the chance to study under a proper guru. So they didn't have the corrected meaning. Somehow, due to the punya, I got a chance to correct myself, which has been subtler, which has been subtlest. Any word you can use. So habitual error that I am this body. You have to be very clear, habitual error. When you are listening to a class, you feel I am Atman, I have to behave like that. I am the all-pervading Atman, I am the all-pervading Brahman. I should give up the body notion. Everything will be in a level. But after the class, again, the body notion will come. Like you keep the chappal outside the house. Once you go outside, again, the chappal will be in your feet. Similarly, all the notions will be away as long as you are attending a Vedanta class. Once you stop attending the Vedanta class, all these samsaric views will enter into you. Vikram Vedal story like. So here Shankara in his commentary says, Ati Sukshmatvat, being the subtler thing in this world, I will say along with this word, being the ultimate goal in this world, whatever things you follow in your life as an enjoyment, material enjoyment, you can go for swimming, you can play some golf, you can eat some vegan or non-vegan food, you can enjoy with your partner, everything is okay. Yogaradova, Bhogaradova. In Shankara, but in Bhajagovindam, Adi Shankara says, whether it is a yogi, whether it is a bhogi, bhogi means a complete enjoyer, materialist. Yasya Brahmani Ramade Chittam. But his mind is always confirmed with the goal, soaked in the gold. Yasya Brahmani Ramade Chittam. Like that, you go for anything in the world, whatever you like. Go around the world, eat different types of food, everything. But keep in mind that my goal cannot be away from me. I cannot be a samsari after listening a length of time to a traditional guru. So habitual errors are ready to take for a ride anytime. So we need repeated correction again and again and again to listen the Shastra. Shasanad trayade iti Shastra. By giving the proper instructions, it will protect you from all kinds of obstacles. Some are very much heavy, very much strong. Some seems to be sweet, but it's a big obstacle in your life. After a period of time only you come to know you are holding something which is going to grab your entire life. We cannot understand it's an obstacle or it's a big burden in our future, but we just hold it due to the temporary happiness at present. After a period of time only you come to know, just like taking some loan for the vehicle or taking some bank loan for your industry or whatever it may be. After a period of time only, when you see the calculations of the bank regarding the interest, then only you come to know, oh my God, this is not sweet. This is not something I should have given up that. Instead of giving up that, I went through that. Similarly, few obstacles seems to be very, very nice and naive and innocent. Once you enter into that, only you come to know something very going to end up in a tragedy. So, Ati Sukshmatvat, the Atmajnanam, even though it is obvious, it's the locus of each and every body. It is the first thing which is near to you because it is you, Tattvamasi, that you are. Still it is Ati Sukshmatvat. Why it is called Ati Sukshmatvat by Shankara? We are behind the material pleasures in the world. Fame, glory, power, different types of pleasures. All these things are taking me away from the real fact, body notions. That's why it's called Adi Sukshmatvat, Durvijneyam, Dukhena Vijneyam. It's not very easy for a person to understand. It's not very easy for a person to stay again and again and to listen the Atmajnanam. So it's called Durvijneyam. Vijneyam, to be known, Durvijneyam, difficult to know. Durvijneyam iti Matva, considering like that, etam eva artham, the same meaning, punaha punaha, again and again, told by Lord Death. And he continues, Lord Death continues. We are entering to the fourth verse. Supnantam jakaritan, supnantam jakaritantam cha ubhau yenanupashyati. Mahantam vibhum atmanam matva dhiro na shochati. Once more I will read. Supnantam jakaritantam cha ubhau yenanupashyati. Mahantam vibhum atmanam matva dhiro na shochati. Dhiro na shochati. This sentence is repeated by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also, and also in other Upanishads also. A discriminative one never grieves. Simple meaning. In the Bhagavad Gita, the 11th shloka of the second chapter, the Krishna's advice begins. Ashocyan anvashochastvam. That's the starting opening word. Prajnavadamscha bhashase. Gatasuna gatasumscha nanu shochanti panditaha. Panditaha. Intelligent one. Intelligent about what? Cooking? No. Intelligent about karate? No. Intelligent about any kind of dances? No. He is intelligent with regards to what is to be taken into the life as a goal, what is to be given up as a suffering, which he understood in his life. So that discrimination made to give up certain things in his life and take into something in his life. This is the intelligent way of living. Panditaha, Panda, Atmajnana Vishayam Panda. One whose main concern is knowing the knowledge of Atman. Pandita. They don't grieve about the people who have departed from the world, about the people who are alive in this world. Gatasu, Agata Asu. The same way here it is told. Shojati, Shojanti, everything will be repeated in different ways. So the cause of the suffering, the grief, is due to the non-discrimination about the real things. What is real and what is unreal? It's all mixed up in one's life. So grief continues. Whenever there is a discrimination regarding the real thing, then what is unreal, there will be the end of the grief suffering. So here it is told here, Dhiro na shojati. Discriminative one never grieves. Why? Sakshat ahamasmi paramatma iti. This is the word, this is the sentence Shankara told in Bhashya. Why they don't grieve? Matva avagamya atma bhavena. Knowing, having known, matva atma bhavena, about oneself. I am the problem, I am the solution. I have grief, so I have to correct it. The grief, the suffering is due to the misunderstanding about myself, misunderstanding about the world, misconclusion towards the activities, and also all these misunderstandings are being promoted by my friends and relatives and the family members. So I was all the way suffering due to relationships, due to my business, due to my career, due to different things, because they all promoted that you are a body, you are supposed to go through these type of difficult situations. It can be marriage, it can be business, it can be some other household responsibilities, social responsibilities, everything, all it will come, the activities in the dualistic world. Karmani Dvaita Prapancham Apekshya. All the activities in terms of the dualistic world, which is a misunderstanding. That's why he says, concluding like this, Shankara Bhashya, because we already seeing the last sentence of this verse, third verse, fourth verse. Dhiro na shochati. This is the verse. Dhiro na shochati. Why a discriminative one never grieve? Matva avagamya atma bhavena. Atma bhavam, intrinsic nature. Knowing one's own nature, atma bhavam. The real fact of an individual, knowing that real fact of an individual, atma bhavena. Sakshat. Sakshat means directly. That whenever sakshat comes, immediately you have to know knowledge, jnanam. Jnanam is the sakshat sadhanam. Direct means for knowing about oneself. All others are subsidiary. Indirect means a prayer, a dhanam. Dhanam means giving some donation, helping somebody, helping animals, helping people, doing some voluntary services in this world. All are secondary means. They are not the primary means for acquiring the knowledge. Sakshat sadhanam is jnanam. Any beginner, suppose, I assume, if somebody is there as a beginner to Vedanta, they don't understand the whole section, what we are discussing, what we are sharing here. Why? As a beginner, it's all confusion. That I am an individual, body is a fake identity. When I say the entire world is identifying, recognizing me as my body, the one and only person who says that I am not this body is you, or the Shruti, the Shastram. It's not very easy to understand for a beginner. That's why a length of time to listening the Vedanta is prescribed in each and every Shruti. At least for 12 years. From morning to evening, if we get time. If not, at least 3 hours or 2 hours daily listening the Vedanta. Just like brooming the room or house, cleaning daily the house. Because every day, the house will get some impurities. Similarly, we accumulate different types of impurities in our mind and intellect. It will just be a hindrance for our knowledge. That's why continuous Dirghakalam Atharena, listening what is real. Everybody starts without knowing whole, but in the course of time, slowly they will come to know what we are discussing through this class. That's why 12 years for any knowledge is important. So here it is told, Dhiro na shochati, because the direct means knowledge says about the intrinsic nature of the person. Now I will start from the first word onwards. Swapnantam. Andam. Inside. I will take that meaning. Inside. Swapnantam. There are few things we see inside our dream. Swapnam means dream. Dream state. There is another Upanishad called Mandukya Upanishad, which is my favorite. This Upanishad deal with the three states of the human being. Dreaming state, awakened state, and a deep sleep state. In a beautiful way, it analyzes and bring the truth. And for this Upanishad, it is a very small Upanishad in terms of its verses, 12 verses. But a guru called Gaudapada, a traditional teacher, Gaudapada Acharya, written a sub-commentary called Karika, 300 beautiful verses to explain the content of this Upanishad. Along with that, only traditional teachings are 300 verses talking about the meaning of the 11 verses of the Mandukya Upanishad. The entire Upanishad is just dealing with the three states and bringing the truth, bring forth the truth. Here, simply it says, the real things which we see in our dream state, they are not actually the real things. We only see them real as long as we are in the dream state. While we are enjoying a dream, it's real. So, Swapnantam. Ante tishtati iti Swapnantam. We have to take like that. Those things which are inside the dream, the objects, each and every object. Now here onwards, please listen carefully. Each and every object we perceive in the dream is nothing but consciousness. Any object, it can be an elephant, an ant, or a mosquito, a celestial being. Anything can come in the dream. There is no rule in the dream. You cannot decide to see a particular dream on this night. Anything can pop. So, whatever you see inside the dream, Swapnantam, is nothing but consciousness. If it was a real elephant other than your body or consciousness, you will be not there to wake up, because real elephant will not allow you to live again. It will throw you. There is no real sea. It's just consciousness. Consciousness in the form of different objects. That is happening in the supna, in the dream. The same consciousness became different objects in the dream. And each and every object is non-separate from the dreamer. The objects which are perceived in the dream is not away or not separate from the dreamer. The same consciousness appeared to be different objects in the dream. The same object which is the dreamer, the person who is dreaming. Really speaking, there is no division between the objects and the person who is enjoying the objects of dream. One who realized that consciousness is the base of the objects of the dream, consciousness is the base of the dreamer, base of dreamer. The same consciousness help you to identify the entire dream. There is no division. Similarly, in Jagrata Avastha, awakened state, waking state, there is no division. Anything apart from you in the waking state, for example, our brother, our sister, our parents, they are all different from me. They are separate from me. But really speaking, they are all mere names and forms in one single consciousness. The all-pervading consciousness in the form of parents. The all-pervading consciousness in the form of brother. The all-pervasive consciousness in the form of bank manager. In the form of dog. In the form of a bird. In the form of house. In the form of a small pen. Anything in the waking state, whatever we perceive, it's all nothing but consciousness. One of the Kariga explained like this: Supnamaye yatha drishtam gandharva nakaram yatha tada vishwamitam drishtam vedanteshu vichakshanehi. In Kariga, Gaudapada says, one Kariga is like this. One who compare the mansion which he sees in the dream state is much less similar to the buildings in the waking state. That person conclude that there is no difference between dream state and the waking state. Both are one and the same. When we enjoy the dream state, it is true. When we come to the waking state, we see that it's a fake. but both are one and the same. The division is not at all there. In order to make understand, Lord Death says that what are the objects which we perceive in the dream? What are the objects which we perceive in the waking state? Both are nothing but consciousness. Nothing is away from consciousness. You see a pot, you identify a pot, and the pot is related to your intellect, and you have a picture inside the intellect. You have a pot inside your intellect. Thus, each and everything which are separated from you is nothing but consciousness. One who understands clearly due to the teachings of the traditional teacher and the Shastra, Lord Yama says to Nachiketas, Yena Anupashyati. Anu means in harmony with the teachings of the Guru, in harmony with the teachings of the Shruti, Shastram. Wherever you see Anupashyati, Pashyati means see, Anupashyati in tune, in harmony with the vision of Vedanta, in harmony with the vision of the traditional teacher. Yena, by whom? One who understands clearly there is no such thing called dream, there is no such thing called waking state. Each and every object, nothing but consciousness only. There, one who can understand clearly because of the teaching of the Vedanta, because of the teaching of the traditional Guru, by whom both are seen clearly. In this both state, what he actually perceives, Mahantam. Mahan, big, ultimate. Vibhum, all pervading. Vividam bhavati. Vibhum. Whenever we say Mahan means something which is not affected by anything in the world. We cannot eliminate, we cannot make any kind of destruction for that. That's called Mahan, biggest thing. Vibhum. That consciousness which appears in our dream state, that consciousness which appears in our waking state, this is something very big, ultimate. Vibhum. And which appears in different names and forms, Atmanam, seeing all these things as myself. I am not away from them. Whatever I have seen in the dream state, they are not away from me. They are myself only. My own consciousness became elephant. My own consciousness became celestial being. My own consciousness became the river Ganges in the dream state. One who comes to know that the same consciousness is in the form of different things in this external world, which is called a waking state. One who identifies, one who recognizes, one who gets the clear vision regarding to the teaching, in tune with the teaching, in harmony with the teaching of the Vedantic text from a traditional teacher, after knowing the reality of the both states, Dhirona Shochati. The discriminative one never go through any kind of suffering because there is nothing other than me. In the dream state, a mad elephant, a rogue elephant, you can see in a dream. Still that rogue elephant is nothing other than you. It's you are that elephant and the dream is one and the same. Similarly, Advaita Bhavana, Non-duality is being recognized in both states. The part which I see and the person who is perceiving that part is not separated by the consciousness. The one and the same consciousness appears as the perceiver and appears what is perceived. Knowing this reality, dhiro na shochati. The discriminative one never go through any kind of insecurity. Nobody is there to hurt me because everything is Ishvara consciousness. Nobody is there to give some fear. There is nothing as a fear factor in this world when everything is one and the same consciousness. Thus, make the person more mature. Dhiro Nashrojati. There is no insecurity at all after knowing the reality in harmony with the scriptures. We will see bit more regarding this verse according to the Bhashya, and we will enter into the next verse in the next class. Okay, now we will conclude. Om Sasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shupamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kali Varshadu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Choparahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbayaha Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.